Welcome to this episode of Robots in Depth. Today I'm honored to have Ari Rantanen from Tieto here.
Thanks for inviting me.
But we're going to start where we usually start. How did you get into the data field?
Studying in data science and machine learning, so it's so long time ago already, so even hard to recall. But out of the options for kind of studying computer science, so machine learning and artificial intelligence kind of sounded like by far the most interesting topics to delve into. When Tieto started to kind of invest heavily on that, so I see that there's a great opportunities being part of this transformation of the big company and make it more data driven and more kind of AI focused.
Because of course your regular customers, the customers you work with every day, they generate a lot of data, and now you want to make this data more valuable and use it more, right?
We definitely want to help our existing customers to make use of their data and by utilizing data science, artificial intelligence, and find value from this data. But at the same time, we also want to build like scalable, repeatable products and services that can be then kind of repeated and offered to many customers of us.
Yes, so whatever experiences you draw from one customer can then be generalized to every customer and so forth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of packaging these new research results and experiences in a way that makes them more usable every day, right?
Yes, yeah. Yes, indeed.
Because what I think is that for a company of at least a certain size, I can come to Tieto and we can work on my data. Maybe we already work on other things together, but I can now add this machine learning and AI to those processes.
Exactly,
right?
And this is I would call this one of our kind of unfair advantages, like you say, that we are able to kind of offer you full stack services. So it's not only that we do some separate experiment that this is how you could probably use AI, but we can easily integrate the AI to existing solutions. We are a trustworthy partner then to kind of deploy it and maintain and incrementally kind of develop it further, so we can offer the full stack to the customer.
And of course you're also very, very experienced in and used to handling these kind of large 24/7 systems. So
exactly.
This is that part which is very hard for many companies and organizations. Is your bread and butter. That's what you do every day.
Exactly. So I have a huge respect for kind of AI startups and truly amazing companies and truly brilliant people. But then it can be a bit hard for these with early stage startups to offer this kind of DevOps data support 24/7 kind of critical services for the customers. So that's what we can do.
Because of course that requires when you start to depend on these services, even a short outage can be a very big problem, right?
Exactly.
And you're very used to the processes and preparations you need to handle that, right?
Exactly, and then more often than not, when you have a kind of good opportunity to deploy AI, it's not only about the AI data science part, but you have to integrate it to a solution, and you have to kind of develop and maintain user interfaces and data integrations in and out and so forth, and we can do this all.
Can you talk a bit about the projects that you already done? Maybe you can't mention all of them, but you can mention a few of them and talk about how you added this onto a customer's already existing operation.
One of the best use cases on that note is what we have been doing at the healthcare domain, which is very important sector to us. So we are kind of collaborating very tightly with the Finnish Helsinki Uusimaa District Hospital called HUS. So we have kind of helped them and to first of all, like any big organization, so they have they had an issue that their data was siloed all over the place. So we offer them this kind of data platform as a service, so that we maintain it, we take care of the data integrations and so forth. So they get it as a service. So you know that there are like many big data platforms are available, but if you go there to Amazon or Microsoft or whatnot and you just hit your credit card there, you get a list of catalog of different components and that doesn't do anything.
If you're a doctor or a hospital administrator, I would think that would be very hard to use.
Yes,
right?
yes. So we take care of selecting component, integrating them, and build them in something that provides value. And then on top of this data lake layer, if you will. So then together with the customer, so then we build these value adding services to help clinical experts to utilize, say, patient data and drill deep and understand the patients like segment level, individual level, and then on the other hand also to help them to run the hospital more efficiently, to have the situational awareness kind of more visible to the personnel and so forth. So that's probably one of the kind of good examples where we can really offer this kind of you use the kind of benefits of being a bigger company, so we can offer this full stack.
That you work with traffic, is this kind of like transportation, or is it public transportation systems you work with, or both?
So what we have been doing thus far is like analyze the traffic flows to help to kind of optimize and manage the traffic. So let's say one interesting it was a POC still, and hopefully we get kind of forward on that was that we had a kind of this kind of sensor fusion setting. So we had a video image data and lidar data from a tunnel, and then it can be critical if there's some anomalous traffic happening at the tunnel. So there was an existing kind of old school video monitoring system available there, and it wasn't working very well, but by applying machine learning there, so we were able to kind of combine these signals and build this kind of anomaly detection model there. That was really quite a lot improvement with compared to the existing solution.
Which in turn would support the people that are responsible for this tunnel in maybe closing the tunnel because there's been an accident, or evaluating what kind of accident has been.
Exactly, and what we have seen is that it's also like, the saying "never cry wolf." So sometimes the current systems, so they give so many warnings and so many alerts that users get blind to them, and then when there's something really happening, so no one cares. So we have seen this now a few times. So that it's not that the existing systems wouldn't detect the problem more often than not, but if it's like 2/3 or 75% are false alarms, so then no one cares about this, and this is something that we can improve by applying kind of machine learning AI techniques.
Very interesting. I've heard that from many perspectives that it focuses human attention, which is what we can say. If we could only sound the alarm when it's really needed, or if we could say to a doctor, look at an X-ray, but look here, and do that with a reasonable confidence. We're not going to get rid of all false alarms, but if they go from 10 to 2, the benefit we get in human attention is dramatically improving, right?
Yeah, of course it depends on use case by use case. So what is the cost of different kind of errors, but this is something that you don't always think about, but this is something when you kind of deploy to the real world setting, you also need to be mindful, so how many kind of false positives you generate.
And this also allows us to maybe also develop systems that previously would have had too many false positives, and they weren't usable. Now we can filter with AI on top of that, and then we could actually deploy the system.
Exactly, and hence kind of get the user experience to the next level, or to build systems that were currently not feasible because the user experience would have been so bad.
You use this in financial world. What kind of services are you trying to add to them?
Yeah, so Tieto has been kind of developing the systems like say credit scoring. So it's a well-known problem, you could say, and it's kind of still developing gradually. But many times we are concentrated on the cases when you have kind of fairly kind of extensive data available for the persons who are applying for the credit. But what about say in developing worlds and also other places when you have customers that you don't know that much about? So how to do the credit scoring in that case? So and then you can kind of use bit softer information, like you can collect the data from third-party sources or use even online behavioral data to get bit of an edge. And then also, like in a cases that the applicant cannot be allowed to get exactly what she wanted, so also automatically kind of make a second choice proposal and stuff like that. So kind of again starting from the true customer needs, how can we kind of improve?
I also think that might apply to e-trade, because usually we charge somebody and we send out the product, but we don't know if they're going to return it. We want to identify the customers that have a good lifetime value, so to speak.
Yes, and there's definitely plenty of work to be done in the area of e-commerce and marketing in general, and utilizing artificial intelligence and machine learning to the full extent. And as you said, so one thing is really to have the estimate of customer lifetime value, and then kind of optimize your operations against that. So I have seen it before that's really powerful tool, and it can really turn around the operations in the sales and marketing. So I warmly recommend all the marketeers looking at that to think about how to use AI and machine learning and customer lifetime value in their ops.
Yeah, both to look at all the different, I mean, what do we market to people? How do we market? When do we market?
Yeah.
What is the return policy that is appropriate?
So
all of these things. Yeah.
How to increase engagement so that you can drive retention, which then drives customer lifetime value, and also on the other side of the coin, so avoid actions that then increase retention. And also, like, you can use it so many ways, like then find an kind of optimal investment levels for your acquisition and engagement activities. So sometimes it happens that companies tend to over-invest in certain customer segments or certain phase of the kind of customer funnel without realizing that they are actually generating loss with these actions. And it's really hard to realize if you do not have kind of estimation of customer lifetime value.
And this is also something that to a certain degree humans can do with intuition, but most of it has to be done by an AI, by a system, because there's so vast amounts of data, and it's often counterintuitive, I understand.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes they are very counterintuitive, and I would kind of recommend companies that are early on in their journey even to have a simple model that is more or less unbiased, because sometimes these are kind of intuitions and tribal knowledge, so especially when the world changes so rapidly nowadays, so it becomes outdated, and sometimes we hang on into the assumptions that can be very wrong. And to have some objective metrics, even if it's not kind of exactly accurate, but if it's more or less unbiased, it might help to judge these kind of old assumptions against changing reality.
What I think that's something I hear a lot, is that doing this work, adding AI and machine learning and these concepts to our daily operations teaches us, it adds this benefit we get from that. But it also teaches us a lot about what we're actually doing, what the actual customer benefit is of our product, and that of course strengthens the company a lot, right?
Exactly. So it's I mean, just the fact that you start work with the data, so it's almost bound to kind of reveal some insights, even if you don't do anything fancy. And then kind of further on you get with your modeling, even if you are even if you rely on more like black box models, so you are almost bound to learn new stuff about your business, and then it's about the like a business decision makers and domain experts that if they are willing to take heed.
What is the main challenges for this internal innovation within Tieto as regards to AI and machine learning? Is it finding staff? Is it convincing the rest of Tieto, or is it convincing Tieto's customer?
Yeah, so I think that a bit of all, I would say, but I think that we are truly in a bit of a startup fashion, and that sense that we are limited in many fronts. So we don't have kind of unlimited budget and unlimited resourcing. So one thing is to use what we have smartly, and then also to we should be bold ourselves also to change directions when we see that okay, this is good but not the best ones. And then in general, so Nordic market still needs lots of educating on the opportunities of AI. Tieto needs it internally, and the customers and co-creation partners need it, and then it's like, because we are only so many inside at this moment. So how do you use your time efficiently to do this kind of opportunity identification and having the dialogue internally and externally, and then also to do the development. So it's like sometimes you feel like schizophrenic that you need to do 5 things at a time. But I think that's how the startup work should be. So.
It is. I know that from many startups, and I think also educating ourselves in this makes us better users of these very powerful AI systems. And the better users we are, the more positive effects, results we're going to get in the end, right?
Yes. And the good thing is that like these really mature kind of solutions based on AI, and also kind of all sort of AI tools, so they are quite good nowadays. So it's not really that you need to kind of for each and every project you need to start from the scratch, and you need to do a lot of research, and you need to do a lot of implementing. So there's so great tools, say in machine vision, which is one of the probably most rapidly developing kind of area of AI that has kind of clear path to applications. So there are so many good tools available, and feels like almost every week there's something interesting coming up. So how to actually even keep up. So some of those projects are not so much about black magic AI data science anymore, but to have a good software engineering skills and reasonable amount of understanding about AI, and then you can put together really cool products and services.
And you can do so reasonably easy because you have this kind of deeper knowledge, and you also done it for similar customers. You can bring that in. It's more modular and more ready products that are already ready, right? No basic research, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to start from scratch every time. And also when you accumulate this knowledge, and then you have the people sitting next to data scientists, like full stack developers who know how to integrate this all to the
create a usable product
and kind of also like your CX conceptors who understand this with this world. So it's when they are all sitting together in the same unit, so it's much more efficient that way.
So what are the main challenges you face in here? What would really help you in your everyday work, right?
Yeah, well, the resourcing is definitely a bottleneck, and then maybe still even more the fact that like how to kind of increase this general level of understanding of the opportunities of AI, and to get ourselves, let's be honest, and also like our collaborators to understand. Then it would be kind of we still kind of use a lot of time on kind of convincing each other that this is a good thing to do. Sometimes I feel maybe being bit kind of not so kind of patient every time. So okay, why do we still kind of discuss it? Why don't we just make a small investment and try it out? So I feel that this is probably something that we let's put it so that everybody in Nordics could be a bit more aggressive. Maybe kind of we are not Asian, but maybe look at what's happening there, how they approach some things, and maybe take some learnings from there.
Yeah, push a little harder.
Yes, and be a bit more aggressive and bit more like trusting that it'll work.
What I think, and you said that, I think the opportunity cost of not trying is much higher than the cost of actually doing it.
Yeah, it's not the first steps are not expensive, but the opportunity cost might be.
Yeah, and I think also the even if you do a project and you fail, and this is not strange, the first time you're trying to do something that's new and complex, you kind of have to expect failure, but the learnings and the development that's going to happen is going to be so valuable that already the utility for you in the next project is going to be make it well worth it, right?
Yes, and this is really how some kind of our co-creation partners take it, and they understand that also if it happens that it's not exactly what we hoped for, but we learned, and not next time in next iteration we can do so much better. So and if you don't get into this kind of cycle of continuous improvement, then you are left out.
Yeah, if you never start, how would you ever improve, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you have to start somewhere. And do you agree with me when I say that for AI, machine learning, and as you said, also machine vision, that time is probably at least now, if not a while ago, that now's the time to start looking at these things because they can provide proper value for you?
Yeah, so I would say that if you compete in the global market almost in all domains you can think of, so if you haven't taken the first step, then it starts to be a bit late.
It's definitely time now anyway, right?
Definitely, and even if you are focusing on European market or even Nordic market, so you are not kind of deadly late. It's not too late yet, but please don't wait that it's gonna be. So now it's the time to start.
Very nice.
At least now.
And that actually is where we're gonna leave the viewer right now. Go out, start to do this right now. It was a pleasure having you here and hearing what you're doing. And I think we can both agree on this end. Go out there, look at AI, look at what's new in computer science, and just try, right?
Yes, exactly. Welcome on board.
Thank you very much for taking the time to do an interview.
Thank you for inviting me again. Thanks.
I hope you liked this episode of Robots in Depth. I'm proud to produce Robots in Depth with the support of the sponsors, Carbon Robotics and Aptomica. Carbon Robotics is redefining the relationship between humans and machines by making advanced automation dramatically more accessible, with low-cost robotic arms, integrated vision, and a powerful task intelligence engine that automates tasks no human was born to do. Carbon Robotics is proud to support Robots in Depth in their goal to elevate the global robotics ecosystem. Aptomica rents anything in modular robotics. Dream, rent, build. Visit aptomica.com to connect. If you like this episode, tell your friends, give us a thumbs up, subscribe and turn on your notifications. I am Per Sherboy, and I'll see you next week in another episode of Robots in Depth.